YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. It's Monday. Yeah. Time for some more analysis. I'm so excited because last night I did one and it was like, I don't know if you saw the cat hair that just flew by. So Kitty's having a rough morning. He's up literally everywhere. I gotta call the vet as soon as they open, make an appointment. Anyway, I think it's time to take a look at the charts and do my own analysis. And then I want to show you. I dropped it in the community space, but I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Some screenshots of the analysis last night. Actually, we can just go through it. All right, let's roll. I'm going to make myself tiny. And don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, whatever. I'm wearing a weird shirt today, so don't judge me. All right, so micro and mini S&P. Let me move my screen a little bit. Yeah, that's better for me. Right. So first things first, I'm going to get on the 1 hour. And I kind of already have, but I'm going to use this as, I'm going to switch this out, regular trading hours. Excuse me. I'm going to go to the daily. And I want to see the weekly starting gap. I have a lot of places that I think this should go that it has not made its way up there yet. So, and I figured they were going to curl back down. Do we have a weekly open gap? It's Friday. A little bit of a one right there. Yeah, so let me just mark that out. The week open gap and just make sure I've got that. So between that body, this body, hope I'm doing it right. Let's do this. Did I create something for that? Nope. Okay, so let's just make it like a yellow space. Is it already yellow? Okay, maybe not yellow. Maybe yellow is too. I do aim towards these lighter shades of colors. So let's go with that green. And let's draw it over a bit so it doesn't get lost in the lower time frame. So let's look at the 1 hour. All right, so I had spec'd out this order blocks on the 1 hour. This is like 4 hour order block. They rebalanced last week's opening gap. And now we have this week's little gap in that general vicinity. And they've already sort of rebalanced it already. Look at that. Yep, it's balanced. Let's see if they play a bunch in it for the rest of the day. Let me adjust this fair value gap. Clean that up. Pull that out a little bit. It's not perfect. And what is this? Let's fix this. It's probably at a lower time frame. We're in the 1 hour. This is my 1 hour. And cool. And if for some reason I have a sell side liquidity right here, let's delete that for the moment. Fair value cap. Consequent encroachment on this guy. I think this was on the 4 hour. So let's adjust it on the 1 hour. Approximately there. And my breaker is all the way over here. So on the 1 hour. So let's set that right there. It's pretty cool. And the order block's up there that I think we're going to come back down to, like so. So let's see how that plays out, okay? Let's look to the left. And, I mean, we're at an old high as well. So, just annotate that. Old high. Oops, can't type. Old high plus OB plus breaker block plus I gotta check the Nasdaq divergence as well. FEG CE. Okay, let's do that. Let's just mark that off there as my reasoning around that. And let's add the Q just to go check on the 1 hour. Let's get the March contract. Ooh, okay, so the base of this is an up. That's an up, so it's still looking good. The top of this, top of that. This wick in between kind of messes things up. I don't know. The sloping down, this is sideways on this. So I think we'll come down a little bit more on that, but you never know. So take that off. Right, save that. Cool, cool, cool. And that's my 1 hour. Now, in terms of sell side, I'm thinking, all the way down here, but I need to see how they're going to play this out, this general vicinity. All right. So now we're in, let's take a look at the 15-minute and see how that's playing out on the 15. Let's adjust my fair value gap a bit right there, the bigger boy right there. Let's draw that out. Okay, and we are at consequent encroachment plus and it bounced off of it nicely. What it didn't do was take out this up here. So we haven't had any real shift on the 15 from my perspective. This is the 1 hour fair value gap. We have the 15-minute one adjusted downwards. So we'll see how this plays out. Breaker here as well, so order block. So could be coming all the way down here. I think it's going to take the rest of this out. Fascinating. And then on the 5-minute, what are we looking at? And we've got the NASDAQ minis. So we have SMT divergence right here on this one. So on the S&P, they said it was going up. NASDAQ said we're going down. Usually, it's interesting because I'm still learning this portion of it and I don't really understand it as well. The last time I saw it, it's like if the NASDAQ is pointing this way and this is pointing down, then this is going to continue on up. In this situation, it's diverting in the opposite direction and we point it up. So what I would need to see is, for confirmation, is for it to take out, because we've got these relatively equal highs right here. Intermediary high, I need to take it out and give me some other clue. It took it out here, which is good. So that might be a bit of a clue on the top side, because this is pointed upwards. I don't know if that's even a thing, Well, that's also pointing upwards too. All right. Still working this out. But we'll see how this plays. So we have technically two options, right? We have what looks like a swing failure, but I needed to take out these highs up here for me to be comfortable, right? I wanted to take that out and then roll back into it and then continue on up. Until that happens, I've got nothing to do, I think. Because this is a different scenario on the NASDAQ, in it. It's a turtle soup on the NASDAQ. Took out that. Couldn't take this out. Gathered more, took it out there, and now we're here. Now, if this continues up, takes this out, then yeah, we're cooking with Crisco. But we'll see. I needed to take this out. So let me just mark this off as, since it's relatively equal, just gonna set that as buy side. And then we're gonna set this as buy side. And I'm just gonna take a picture of that. Okay. Now I have yet to do. I'm gonna use this guy just for funsies, and I'm gonna minimize that. Let's go to the daily for a second. So what are we looking at? Because I thought perhaps they were gonna come and rebalance down here, and then in order to continue on up, they also could potentially consequent encroachment on this candle is about the top of this order block right here. So they could come all the way back down here and take maybe halfway down, maybe 40, 67 and 3/4 to go back up. And this imbalance or fair value gap would have to act as support. But I mean, we've technically hit the start of a bearish order block right here. Yeah. And then stop and then turned around a little bit. So still bullish. We haven't done anything to tell me that we're not going to continue on up. Okay. So auto that. So let's see. See. All right. All right. One sec. Sorry. I am testing stuff out. Now, last night I wanted to do some, and I wanted to do some work on, oops, didn't need to do that. Let's grab this guy while we're waiting, because I still think it's coming down. But you gotta watch this price action for sure, to see. Still think it's coming down. This divergence is telling me we're going short. But I could be wrong. I mean, let's be honest, it could most definitely be wrong. Anyway, and it's like fighting itself because we are at a bearish order block right here. And fair value gap holding the price up here. That's the thing. All right, let's take a look at last night's fun, huh? Let's see. Oh man, I was having a blast. 5 minutes yesterday. My goodness. Look at all this marked up. I really need to clean it up for today, but I wanted to share this setup. And wow, after that did beautifully. Look at that. It came and took out sell side like a boss. Nice. Very, very nice. Anyway, so I know that's a little messy looking, but let me show you what I was thinking yesterday and last night. And let me pull the price back so you can see some of the quotations and stuff, right? Um, like right there. So you can see the notations I was making to myself and the anchor and everything. Very proud of this moment, right? So my original thought was that they would come down and to the consequent encroachment on over here. Let me draw this out so you can see since I have all these notes, right? So my original thought was, when I first got started, and let me pull up the screenshot so I'm not crazy. So, and let me copy this and let me paste it here just so you can see it's right. Okay, so when I started this last night, Let me move this way, and move it this way. As you can see, we're here in the screenshot, right? So I was like, all right, they've taken out sell side, and they've already done the turtle soup. Now we're at a failure swing. So I was like, all right, and we've shifted, right? We're doing a nice significant market shift here. So I was like, cool, we're coming back down into this order block, right? Now I should have been thinking about, but this breaker block up here, which is much more significant, I'm learning slowly but surely, right? So these screenshots are for my journal, right? So I know what the heck I'm doing. So that was, my first analysis on this thing. So I originally thought my entry would be right down here at this consequent encroachment area. And then I adjusted my thought processes based off of how price adjusted. Let me drop another screenshot on here for your viewing pleasure. Pleasure. I was very happy with myself. Okay. So then when price came back down here, and I hadn't made these notes yet, right? But oh no, I did. It's right there. If you can see it very easily. But by this time, you know, we're like at this juncture right here. Sorry. Make sure I'm like looking in the right place. Oh, and this is on the 1 minute. So let me get down to the 1 minute. Sorry about that. Okay, there we are. Make sure we're all looking at the same thing. So, and corresponding areas there. Cool, cool, cool. So once price came back down, right? And I realized that we had all these different line items in the space. So this order block here, right? And consequent encroachment down here. And so I was thinking I wanted it to drop, do a turtle soup, right? Not consequent failed. So with the turtle soup, they'd already taken out sell side here. That's gone. And then I'm thinking they're gonna just tap here and then continue on up. And this would be the entry. So let me delete this. It's my screenshots from last night. So I was like, cool. So I would enter it right there. Beautiful. And I'd said to myself, consequent encroachment on this. And let's zoom in on this, man. I was so proud of myself last night, as I was doing this. So I zoomed in. So the top of this, the top, the open of this candle, consequent encroachment on this fair value gap is what I was thinking for an entry. And look how beautifully price came in. Now I didn't zoom in this precisely to put it exactly right there. So, whatever, you get the drift, right? I would have gotten in right here. And if I would have set my limit order to right there. Look how beautiful. Small little drawdown, not even any, and it took off. And while this thing was painting, it was like, whoa, you know? And once it took this out and got me a good shift, and it made this, and I'm starting to realize, like, sometimes before all of this, I wouldn't have known what this red candle was or what this red candle was or any of that. I would not have known. But after learning from ICT, I'm like, oh, it's an order block, and they could come back into it, and we could gather for some more orders and continue on up, right? Because here's the thing, right? If they drew this out, it's like if they took this out, I expect them to come in to maybe tap it, maybe go halfway through it for consequent encroachment, and then take off. They didn't do it. They came back into this order block right at the top. Beautiful. And just so I'm not crazy, let me pull up my third screenshot of this awesomeness. So this is all from my journals from last night, right? So then I was like, oh my God, they took it out. Yes. And then I've set my order block there from last night. I was like, cool, 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 cool. So I was just like watching it and I was like, wow, okay. And I said to myself, I adjusted my expectations because in this screenshot, you see my take profit is way higher, right? Because I was aiming for, and we can delete that because I was aiming for the buy side liquidity, right? Then I decided that's kind of stupid, right? And for me as a newbie, let me just aim for like a couple ticks above this order block, this fair value gap, right? And that played out like beautifully, like gangbusters. I was slightly worried when it kind of took a pause here, but then it tapped it and we're out. Beautiful. So then at each area where an order block formed, I was kept dropping it. I was like, all right, we took out this intermediary high, beautiful. And they came back in, not perfectly, to, give accumulate some more orders, and they continued on up. They tapped into this guy, and I was, oh my God, looking at this, right? Old high right here, right smack in the middle, or practically, of the fair value gap, along with an order block. So that's why I was like old high, constant encroachment, and should hold up the price here. So I made that little note to myself. I was like, yes. And then I was like expecting to continue from here to take buy side, which in my case I would set to up here, this buy side. So I was like, let's just focus on this one, take out the rest of the fair value gap. That'll be my target and done. Out. Life is good. So as you can see, it played out beautifully. I was in shock. And let me just give you another view of my as I was tracking my progress, the screenshots here. I was just tracking the progress. I mean, I was like, oh my God. And I was simulating where I would move my stop loss. I moved it onto this thing right here. That way I would get most of the lion's share of the move if something happened and it came back and just stopped me out. It was beautiful. I mean, it was beautiful. And then I took one last screenshot at the coup de grace when it tapped right through it. And I was just like, no way. No, this is the types of trades that I want to get into. Can't even tell the difference, right? Screenshot, except the fact that I'm moving it around, you can see the screenshot. But I was annotating and I was like, should take out this fair value gap and the buy side here. And I'm out, beautifully delivered BTC. I was like, yes, well done, Bitcoin. Well done. So I was very excited. It was a good move. And here's the thing, right? Like without all this learning from ICT, understanding price and tape reading, I could not have done this before because then I'll tell you what would have happened, right? I would have come here, seen this break, seen this order block right here, set my stop loss right under here, and been stopped out there instead of like waiting and planning and looking because then I was like, oh, there's a big order block. I mean, breakup block here. So most likely they'll come back down. And then understanding the way the market can shift or break. It's beautiful. And then just sort of tracking it to fruition. It was it gave me a lot of hope, you know? Like so much hope for the future. And I'm gonna make myself big for this. Like, guys, this is why we're doing this, right? This is the result of this trade is why I am doing this. I didn't take it. I just tape read it. Just as the candles painted. And as at the end of it, I was like, man, I should have just been recording this so I can like speed it up and drop it in the thing. And next time when I do that, I'm gonna do that because I mean, cool. And that took based off of the timestamps of these screenshots, it took about oops, what is that? Sorry about that. Um an hour and a half approximately to play out. And this is an 8 hour trade for BTC. I mean, if I had taken it. But right now, I just want to know that my process and my thoughts are doing what I think they are. And even if I failed on this one, but I won like 50 other and others of these and I messed up two of them, who cares? I'm happy. And then I walked away from the charts and I was like, I'm good. So let me close this out and then we'll see what happened afterwards. So after all that awesomeness, and I'm glad I left here, because and that's the other thing you could have aimed for, you know? These equal highs right here would have been good, like 23,066. Yep. You'd have gotten that nicely, even higher, even a little bit more. But anyway, after that, it collapsed. We had, do some 5 minute. Oops, where'd it go? I don't know why it does that when I change, I guess I might be zoomed in too far. Okay. And then let's hide. Okay. So then after all of that beautifulness, turtle soup in the opposite direction, and note very clearly, it did not take out this intermediary high. That is if I'd been paying attention after this trade, I was like, I'm good. That's beautiful. Learn to take the win, take a step back, come back later, find another setup. So I was just trying to teach myself. But in hindsight, as I'm looking at it, look at this. And if you really think about it, this fair value gap rejected the price beautifully, like it rejected it here. Bam! Rejected it. Phew, gone. So cool. But it didn't take this out. So what did it do? It shook out all the buy sides, and then it collapsed. And it made itself another break right here. Consolidated this fair value gap, and then collapsed and took out sell side. So other opportunities, man. Yeah, look at that. Break a block, fair value gap, order block, constant encroachment. Let's see if it holds this price and it bounces. Sell side taken. I think turtle soup done here. Oh my God, I'm not even showing you. Haha, my bad. Sorry about that. Let me scroll back up to what I was talking about. So here, this intermediary high, it didn't take it out after this beautiful run up. I mean, it is beautiful, beautiful. Mm. And then they rebalanced the heck out of it, changed the whole structure, and then collapsed. And then this fair value gap acted as actual resistance. Because look, and then it just like bitch slapped it. And then it made a proper shift down here, used this fair value gap as resistance, right? They've accumulated a ton in here. And then once it broke this guy, then you could have been a buyer while it took out the sell side. I'm almost positive there was more juiciness down here to be taken out because I was estimating that guy. There was this one below it. Consequent encroachment would be 22,585 on that guy. Let's see, how far did it go? 22,611, so it didn't make it all the way down there, but it did spike down. So imagine if you'd been able to switch your mindset and taken that short, right? So what do we have? We have this break right here, fair value gap left, order block, order block. Let's say pick that one. You could have set your order right there and then set your stop loss. Real quick thing, tap it at this sell side. 1, 2, yeah. And that would have been a, stop it. No way. 1 to 13? No way. That's even more than this one. This was like 291. This is like 300. Boom. And then it came back up. Back into this guy. Rejected it. Even if it wicked above it, the bodies are inside of the fair value gap. And now we're just being rejected by this thing. Beautiful. Mm, beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to be doing this. This motivates the hell out of me. I don't know about you, but it motivates the hell out of me. So I'm going to continue learning and growing. By the time this year is done, I'm going to be a beast. I'm going to be a beast. And as a beast, I'm going to take all the money. I'm going to take all of it. But for now, I am more concerned about my setups and my entries and my exits, and understanding how all of that works. Okay, money is gonna be like the byproduct of knowing how to trade like a pro. Okay, like a pro. Don't focus on the money, focus on your process. Because without that process, if you got a great one, the money will come. But if you don't, you ain't got diddly. You got nada, nunca, nothing. Anyway, it's about time for me to start thinking about the job that pays the bills. So you guys have a great Monday. Happy the week. Hope you enjoyed the weekend. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you feel like it. Shakira.